Hey, what up, KX crew? Clausnix here. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about mental health because it is Men's Health Week. Mental health is something that I'm not shy about on this channel. I will talk about it because I really do take it seriously. It's something that's near and dear to my heart, and I wanted to put a little bit of emphasis on that this week. So I wanted to read you a fact that I stumbled on this week that was it's pretty jarring. 84 men a week take their own life. 75% of suicides are male. Men are less likely to get help, but speaking up saves lives. Let's encourage men to speak up, not man up. That's something that I shared on my Instagram story. So, this is something that's near and dear to me because I was raised in a way where men were supposed to be tough. We were supposed to keep our sad emotions, our emotions that made us look weak. We were supposed to keep those inside, and I'm not even saying that as just just my own father. I'm saying that this was a society thing. This was at school when I was a kid at recess. If there was a boy who fell or he hurt himself and he cried, the rest of us would kind of snicker. We would think that he's a wimp, right? This is just how society has viewed masculinity, and it's something that a lot of us are dealing with the aftermath now. Like maybe that worked at a time in the past, but it doesn't really work in today's society. Maybe it never worked. I don't know. I mean, we're not necessarily being built up to go to war anymore. I'm not going to get into that. I've stirred up a lot of conversation and controversy on this channel on what it means to be a man, and you guys know how I feel about that. And this last line in particular, let's encourage men to speak up, not man up, right? So, there's something about toughening up, right, which is good, but the expression man up is something that it is a little bit sexist towards men. And it's something that's maybe should be phased out of society. And it's a term that I lived by my whole life. Okay, I get it. I've tried to encapsulate what it means to be a man, like on all fronts, right? This is something that I lived and breathed. It was a part of my identity, right? And I'm going through a bit of I don't know, self-realization, actualization. I'm learning that my identity is not the fact that I was born with the parts that I have, right? And what you're born with doesn't make you who you are. And I'm going a little bit off subject, but I'm just saying that we need to stop treating men like they have no weakness, like they have to be strong. If you're a man and you're watching this, you have to understand that those emotions that you have are very real. Those feelings, those doubts, your fears, they're all very valid and they're important. And if you are someone who feels like you're in a dark place in your mind, I've been there. I've been in very dark places before. And I just want you to know that you need to talk to somebody about it. Okay? If you ever feel like you're trapped, like you have no one to talk to, like you're in a situation that's inescapable, if something is going on in your life, you need to you have to find an outlet, right? Because as a man, my outlet has always been like the weights, football. But the thing is, those things are also very masculine, right? So I'm checking my boxes in being a man, right? You need to find an outlet that is not just that. Like you need to find somebody to talk to if you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling like you're in a dark place, because you just don't want that option on the table, right? Sometimes it helps to talk to somebody, even if talking to somebody doesn't fix your problem. It's not the solution. It just makes you feel less alone, and they might shine a little bit of perspective, and you get stuck in mental loops in your head, right? And sometimes just talking to someone new just breaks that cycle, right? Your thought patterns that you have every single day. Sometimes just talking to somebody just breaks that pattern, or maybe it shakes things up in your head a little bit. That's the point I'm making. When they say talk to somebody, it's not because you should just talk to somebody, right? It's not because they're going to solve your problems. It's just having an outlet, having somebody to talk to. That being said, maybe you don't have anybody that you can talk to. Maybe you don't have anybody that you can talk to about your specific problems. Maybe it's too sensitive. Maybe the people in your life just aren't a good outlet for you, right? Then maybe it's time to consider seeing a therapist, which I've done as well. And it's helped me a lot with specific things that I don't really want to talk to about anybody else. So I know that that's not within the masculine bravado checklist. It doesn't fit the template to go to a therapist and and vent about all the things that are on your mind, but I'm going to encourage you to do so, because when you're physically sick, you go to the doctor. When you're mentally sick, what do? Right? If you're mentally sick, how do you deal with that? Do you have an unhealthy outlet like alcohol or drugs, or maybe you're doing things that aren't necessarily great for you? Maybe they're self-destructive things. So my point of this video is that if you're in a dark place, you got to find somebody to talk to about it. And not because they're going to solve your problems, but because it's just good for your mindset. It's good for your mental health, because when you talk to somebody, you feel less alone, and it breaks those thought patterns in your head sometimes. Maybe you just need someone to hear you. You just need somebody to validate your feelings, right? If you ever want to talk to me, okay, I'm around. If you feel like you can't talk to anybody, and you want to test the waters before you see a therapist, I'm not saying I'm not a therapist. Don't go to me for therapeutic help. I can be someone you want to talk to. If you want to DM me on Instagram, or you want to talk to me in the Discord, those are both options for you. The Discord link is in the description. My Instagram is @ClawsonExercise. So take your mental health seriously. Do what you have to do. Don't go to unhealthy vices. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling suicidal, and maybe it's something that happens to you frequently, find those coping mechanisms, right? Like build a music playlist that you put on when you're down, right? Like sometimes when I'm feeling down, I go for a walk with my dog. I spend some time in nature, right? I have these contingency plans for when I feel a certain way. So when that mood hits me, I know, okay, I got 3 options I can do. And when I commit to one of those options, those emergency plans, right? Those plan Bs, whatever you want to call them, it breaks that thought pattern in your head, and you don't end up spiraling in a self-destructive cycle. You end up going somewhere more productive, right? Like you go on a walk, you'll feel better, your blood's pumping, you can clear your mind a little bit. The music, if you get music that matches the mood you're in, it kind of almost feels like you're talking to somebody, like someone's speaking into your soul using music. They're hitting all the right notes. You're like, yes, this is how I feel. And sometimes the music can actually make you feel less alone, because you relate to the music, you relate to the lyrics, as long as the music isn't actively making you more depressed, right? Because that's not what we should be aiming for either. So that's all I'm going to say in this video, guys. Mental health, take it seriously. I know that this is Men's Health Week, but women, important for you too, right? Men's mental health isn't any more important than women's mental health. It's just men struggle with talking about their problems. They struggle with realizing they have problems, or they don't think that they're real enough, or they don't think that it's necessary to get help, or whatever. It's a different thought pattern because of our environment and our society and the way that we've been brought up. We think differently. So that's why we need that emphasis, because men are killing themselves because they don't know what else to do. So they need to know that they have options. They need to know that there are places they can go, there are people they can talk to, there are things that they can do. So that's all I'm going to say for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Take your mental health seriously. If you want to talk to somebody, you can talk to me. Okay? Just DM me. I'm not going to solve your problems, but I can be an ear for you. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more stuff in the future. Claus next out.